It's after 8 o'clock, and we are live and live here on Island T. I got my girl Kortensia in the building. It's May 7th, Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. What's up?
I'm good. Good morning to one and all listening us here and abroad. I almost felt like Monday. Yesterday felt like Sunday, but I remembered before Kortensia. It's not Monday. It is Tuesday.
That always happens, doesn't it?
Oh boy, because go ahead, Jam.
No, I'm saying on holiday weekend. Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. I needed some rest. Did you get some rest?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't. I swear my brain feels foggy this morning. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Your brain feels foggy? Why?
Yeah, it doesn't feel light. It doesn't feel clear. I don't know. I wanted to sleep somewhere. It didn't happen. Yeah, having foggy brain this morning. So Tuesday shout out. So I'm going to start first with Carla. So Carla, good morning. The lovely lady in New York that calls, I don't know her name. Dennis and Javon in New York. Mr. McMahon, Gawain Fritz, Beatrice Richardson, Chevrich, Colin, Mishi, Miss DeGuaya White over there in the States as well. Miss Nisbet Richards in the U.S. as well. My mommy. Jamsa, do you have anybody you want to shout out to? There's so many people. Burl Jones, Edward Duchesne. There's a lot of people, but too many names to remember. So if you're a regular listener, we thank you. We thank you. Let us know in the comments so I can include your name on the shout out. Oh, Glenda Nisbet, good morning. I think the guy in Montserrat, what's his name? Dave Levinstone as well.
You mean the one that calls? No, because he's never really called.
No. I'm just trying to remember everybody that's normally on.
We have another caller that calls on voices. Good morning, Isaiah. Morning, Lorenzo.
Rusty morning.
Morning, Kyle. Herbert.
Yes.
Kyle Herbert.
And what about Carl? We haven't heard Carl in a minute.
Yeah, we haven't heard Carl. Good morning, Jam Down. Still love you.
Cleo, yes. Oh, yes, Jam Down. Oh, I miss Jam Down. Jam Down.
Still love you. You just have to get some stronger toothpaste. Or mouthwash, whatever.
Oh, boy. Look, good morning, Jam Down. I hope you had your weed tea. I hope you're doing well. And I long to hear your voice back on Island Tea.
Okay. Who else that I might be forgetting? Good morning, JP. He knows
what
who
about
he
Miss
is.
Henry?
Miss Henry, yeah, Miss Henry.
Oh,
for sure.
my God. Miss Henry, how are you doing? It's been a minute, Miss Henry. We haven't heard from you.
And good morning, Eli X.
I don't know that one. And good morning.
That's
the
Elder.
Yeah. Oh,
mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I just know him as Elder. Mm-hmm. Gonna get myself in trouble today. But to all our listeners, thank you as usual for tuning in. And Jamster, I sent you something yesterday with the little the father of the young man.
Yeah. Okay. So you want us to play that to me? No.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we can maybe chop it up.
You can chop it up, yeah, for sure. Okay, so did you get any feedback on the Labor Day match yesterday?
No, I tried to watch it, but
it was on TV?
Yeah, it was on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
Yeah,
okay.
I watched it on YouTube. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Until it becomes a Labor Day match. Then
But you
I might
know,
watch, then
actually,
might
I
watch.
think it was it the chair, but I think Hollis is his name. He was saying the march is not just for persons that are labeled. The march is for everybody, and we should put aside our differences on that particular day and come out and march.
That's easy to say.
Oh boy, but it's hard to do. Oh boy, I long for the day when I can see everybody out there marching with their placards and just we are fighting for what we want as workers. Better wages, better working conditions, no more moldy buildings.
But you know, the other thing they say is that it's funny. I always thought it, but I heard someone verbalize it for the first time last week.
Mm-hmm.
The Labor Day match is a sort of a barometer for the Labour Party to kind of know where they are, popularity-wise.
Wow.
With the people, like if, you know, but what muddies the waters is that if it's going to be like a quasi-Juve, you don't really know.
Oh,
You don't really know where you are because people are going to come out to jam.
Just to jam,
anyway,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So-
exactly. You got that right. You have that right, Jabster.
Okay, so you know that's the kind of slickness that the Labour Party does. You know, they think they're slick. They got no. I mean, let's make it about because my thing is, and I've said this every year. My thing is, it's about workers. It's about the honor and it's about the honor and the integrity of work and so on, right?
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be about majorettes and a band playing wireless. And I'm sorry, it shouldn't. You know, so. Jermaine is asking for a shout out. Shout out, Jermaine.
Hey, Jermaine. Good morning, Jermaine.
I just saw that come up there. So yeah. So I think he's back already. Actually, he should be back.
Okay, so he's gonna. Okay.
So you said you wanted to hear this thing. Where is it? And you saw that thing about sunrise. But we'll talk about that afterwards. Okay. So we're playing this. You said right. So go ahead and play.
Yep.
Okay.
Good day to everyone. Happy Labor Day to St. Kitts and Nevis. Today, I come to you with a sad situation. Today, I come to you to ask you for your help, for your assistance. For those of you who haven't heard, my son was swimming yesterday at Pinay's Beach. He took a dive into the water from when the land he ran off, dive into the water and hit his head on some object at the bottom of the sea. It caused him to almost drown thanks to the lifeguards and those people who responded quickly and helped him to pull him out of the water. Thanks to the team at the Alexandra Hospital, they were able to resuscitate him. However, Kevon is currently on a ventilator at the Alexandra Hospital because he have 3 bones in his neck that is broken. So he cannot breathe on his own. He's looking at you, he can move his head, say yes, say no, cry, smile, but from his shoulders go down, he cannot move anything below that. Kevon have to be airlifted to either Guyana or Trinidad for surgery. Surgery that's gonna cost a very, very, very large amount of money. And of course, I'm here today because I don't have it. What I have put aside is not even close to what is required for Kevon. So I'm asking the general public of St. Kitts Nevis and everyone who can hear and see this message to please for your assistance. This is my son. He's a good young man. He's destined for greatness. And I refuse to believe this is how he's gonna spend the rest of his life. I'm asking you guys to please for some assistance in whatever way. I don't mind if I have to pay you guys back or however it go, but my family is asking you guys for your assistance. Please. Tonight we're going to be doing a special bingo at Oasis for him. If you want to come and contribute, you can do that. We're in the process of setting up a GoFundMe page, and when that is done, we're going to provide the information for each and every one of you to see. And so persons have already started to make pledges. I am thankful for those people. So whatever social media you're on, whatever influence you have, whoever you know, please, we are asking you to please assist us. My number is 668-9219. His mother's number is 667-8937. You can call us, you can message us. Please, anybody that you know could help, please, we are asking you for your assistance. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's very moving.
It is, and as I said, once you see a dad come to fore, you know it's rough. And that's good that we have this dad in particular standing up for his son.
Is he Guyanese? He sounds Guyanese.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, he is. Apparently he's a DJ.
He's a DJ?
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because as he said, what he has put aside can't really help. And this is what I say. We see on the weekends, on holidays, we have all these young gentlemen, mostly gentlemen. You might have a young lady in there, here and there, but it's mostly young gentlemen. They're going to the seaside to have their fun, but they don't know what await them at the bottom of the sea. So I am pleading to all of the young children that go out to the sea to have fun, to be mindful when you're taking dives. You do not know what is at the bottom of the sea. It's not always lucid or clear enough for you to see at the bottom. So enter with caution. We know you want to impress each other. We know you want to show each other who can do the longest flip or the highest flip, but it's not worth it in the end. We see little Kevon is in the hospital on a ventilator, bones broken in his neck, as his dad said.
How old is he?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay. We also need to know how much money we're talking about.
Yeah, so
he
that if
didn't
you're
say.
listening, you need to inform the public a bit clearer.
Yes,
So
you
what
need,
type
yeah.
of help, how much money it is. He says it's airlift, but
Yeah.
airlift would also include the medical treatment.
It does?
I would
Okay.
like, because you're
Yeah,
just
you're
lifting
right,
them
you're right.
there,
Yeah, you're right.
thereafter, what happens thereafter?
You're right.
You
yeah.
drop him off in either Trinidad or Guyana, what happens afterwards?
Mhm.
So it's a lot. I don't think anybody's prepared for medical emergencies, no matter how you really try to prepare. That's why I always say get insurance. It's ticklish sometimes, but ensure
It's
that
very
you
sad.
have. Yeah. But
And it's funny. I always took particular note of not doing what he did because I remember when I was a kid, there was a neighbor of mine who died the same way over Frigate Bay
plunging in and hitting his head.
and broke his neck, and he lasted a few days and then he died. And he was older than me.
Oh boy.
He was much older than
That's
me.
the
He
thing,
was
you
he was an
know.
adult, but he was very popular in the neighborhood and so on.
We
And
want to cannonball, we want to impress
Oh.
our friends, but we have to be
Yeah.
mindful. So
Yeah.
young men especially, and parents who are listening, please ensure. I know you can't keep eyes on them all the time, but just caution them. Boys will be boys, but just warn them. Let them know of the dangers and let them know that they're expected home.
I used to
Please.
spend some Easters sometimes by family in Newcastle, right? And they had, man, listen, I'm so lucky. They had a pier in the backyard. I'm not making this up. Like there was the backyard was
literal
the
pier,
backyard was the sea
Yeah.
with a pier.
Uh-huh.
And I always remembered every time I went onto the pier, like when I went sea bathing, I was like, don't dive in head first. Seriously, I used to be always thinking that. So I'll just jump in feet first. And I mean, granted, we had about maybe 10, 15 feet at the end of the pier. So, but it was nice. But I always thought about don't ever dive in head
Head
first.
first,
When
yeah.
you
Just jump in. Not although neither way is a safe way. To me, just get yourself in the water carefully. I don't know, walk in, do something. At least if you hit your foot on something, you know something is there. But diving in and jumping, I don't know. And then I've watched too many scary movies to see when you dive in head first sometimes, or leg first, something's waiting with its mouth
Yeah.
open for you.
But you know what was funny about the Newcastle Bay there? The water was deadly clear. Like,
You could have seen.
You
That's
could
what I'm saying.
see
Sometimes you
everything.
can see to the bottom.
you can see everything. And I always thought that was kind of cool. And the water was very calm, too. It was almost like no tidal action.
Yeah, and this was Piney's Beach, and Piney's Beach is the largest beach on Nevis. So I don't. There's from the I went in there last year at Mango Festival, or after the Mango Festival. That
Piney's?
would have been the last time I would have
Really?
been in the water in Piney's Beach. Yeah, but and I know there's stones and stuff, but I really don't know what he managed to hit his head
God, I
on.
hope.
So
Call
yeah.
go right ahead.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey,
to
good
you
morning.
guys.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, man. That was kind of sad, man. My
Yes,
heart
it
goes
was.
up to that family, man. And I want to ask two questions. One, was there an object in the sea, and if they were able to remove that object? And then two, the Prime Minister be talking about that program that he started to help persons, who comes upon these kind of emergencies. I want to know if that program was called upon.
Yes,
if
thanks
that
for
program was
thanks for reminding
if that
us. Yeah.
program was activated. I want to know if that program was called upon. I mean, does this guy qualify to get the help under this program here? Because this is a big emergency for this family, man. And, somebody got to go up the chain and see if this guy is able to use this program that Prime
Yes,
Minister been talking about.
caller, not to cut you off, but I just received a little snippet that says, it's from the Honorable Dr. Terrence Jew. It says, a good day. Many have called and I have reached out to DJ Woody and the family. The Children's Medical Assistance Fund stands ready to assist. Every child must be given the chance to live. I now await the medical arrangements and pray for this precious child, the parents, and the family.
Okay.
All right, okay, well.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's great. And we could
That's
follow
good.
up later on.
Yeah.
I wish that family the best, man. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, caller.
Well, props to the PM for getting on that
Yeah.
and letting us know
Yeah.
on the spot, because
Oh, Calvin Burke in Miami. He says he's listening from Miami. So good morning, Calvin Burke.
okay. Good morning, Calvin. And where was I?
We have a call on the line?
No, we don't.
Okay.
There was one before, but
Okay, caller, you can always call back. But yeah, Jams, I understand. I know boys will be boys, and even like the April when they have the games, I shouldn't say April, excuse me, but when they have the Easter games, I'm always concerned at that when the gentlemen fall in that there's nothing in there to hit them, because I know they're having fun, on their greasy pole, etc., but I'm always concerned. Even sometimes I watch the Red Bull, those Daredevil games that they have.
yeah.
A recent one I saw on YouTube where they were trying to pole vault over the sea onto a sand thing. And these people,
Crazy.
they are.
One thing I will say, Red Bull does not give you wings.
Does
don't,
not.
Never mind
Oh
what
my
Red Bull says.
I know
know
the
what I
pot
mean?
of money maybe is a lot to share, but whatever. But when you count out the machine that you build that's just gonna mash up in 2 seconds, and then your life when you fall in the water, what if the machine traps you? But listen, they're divers at the bottom, but hey, to each his
Yeah.
own. A lot of people live their lives on the edge, and as I said, I pray for this young man's recovery. I pray for the strength for his family.
I really,
And
yeah.
as a society, the Prime Minister said they're going to help. Whatever we can help with too. You never know what extras. Medical attention costs you plenty. I know that
yeah,
for sure.
I really hope I really hope he pulls through, because
Yeah.
those types of injuries in this day and age aren't
boy.
necessarily. No, they're not necessarily like a death sentence. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but the fact that
So
he
it's-
can't move from his shoulder down, I was wondering, something wrong with the spine now too. I know he broke the 3 bones in the neck. I was like, thank you, Jesus, he's still alive. But is something wrong with the spinal cord now?
May have been damaged
Oh,
too.
Jesus.
But Lord, I hope not.
Oh boy. Young men, young women, be careful at the base, please. Parents, please keep knocking it in their head. They're gonna listen. They're gonna remember something when they're about to do something wrong. Yeah, something's gonna hit.
I have a silly comment here from
Oh boy.
from Chris Collins. So you ain't went to match. You are a worker. You should have.
Tell him the sun was too hot and we were matching in our minds.
Oh
Boy,
my God.
I was looking at folks yesterday and they were enjoying themselves. But that sun was hot. I
And
was
he-
doing chores and I was burning up. I was
he-
doing laundry.
He misunderstood my comment about mouthwash and toothpaste. No, Jam Down dropped an F-bomb a few weeks ago. That's what I was referring to. Yeah.
Jam Down, we miss you. Come on home.
Jam Down probably feels like a prodigal son up right about now. Huh? Out in these streets, feeling.
I know when Jam Down come, that
feeling-
Jam Down we'll have to look into so many things because Jam Down will have all these headlines waiting for us.
He'd have like a rap sheet, a rap sheet of stuff to go
He'll
through.
just roll out his
Okay,
commandment list.
item
Yep.
number 11. Call or go right ahead.
Good morning to everybody.
Good
Hey, what's up?
morning.
Greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name,
Oh.
the only Savior of sinners.
Okay.
No.
Man.
Yes. Now, first of all, I would like to say I'm very saddened to hear about the young man. I really pray the best for him and for everybody who is involved. First of all, for the spiritual healing, and secondly, for the physical healing of the young man. I really do wish him all the best and the family all the best, and speedy recovery to him as well. Also, I would like to say concerning the situation, I would like to think it to always have the best in everything, including medical care, health care. And the way we are going, we will never ever have the best that we can achieve. In order for us to achieve the best in all areas of life, including in healthcare, we have to start to do things the Bible way, including where healthcare is concerned. Because if we do things the Bible way, we won't have to be sending the gentleman or anybody else overseas for these surgeries. For we would have them right here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and they'd be a whole lot cheaper.
So okay, but
We don't have the facilities. This is why he's being sent. So what would you recommend, sir?
what biblical thing should he be doing in his beachside recreation that would have prevented this? I mean,
But I'm not saying that he might have prevented it. What I'm saying is that if we do things the Bible way, we would already have long time ago the proper facilities with the best health care, including all sorts of surgeries that we do not have here now, that we won't need to send people overseas, and there would be a whole lot cheaper. That we won't need government help. Because when things are run and controlled by the government, you do not get the best. You get less than the best. What should be what the biblical way to go, including in healthcare, is for it all to be done in a free market capitalist context, where we have hospitals and that sort of stuff that are owned by different people competing with each other. And you don't have all of these taxes and that sort of stuff that makes things when they come in here to be very expensive. And so doing things this according to the Bible, would give us the best in every area of life, including healthcare, that, like I said, and makes things a whole lot cheaper and cheaper continually. That you would need government help. We would be able to take care of things our own selves and be free and independent of the politicians.
Okay.
Now, a lot of us need to realize whatever government spend, we have to pay it back. And the more the government spend is the more we're going to have to pay back. And sooner or later, it always calls for increase in taxes and that sort of stuff, which is very negative.
Greg, listening to you, you make Jesus sound like a Republican. I don't know. You would have people homeless and stuff, according to you.
Well, making things cheaper, including homes. As a matter of fact, it's very interesting you bring up the home thing, but making things cheaper, including homes, would be in everybody's reach. So the very opposite is true. But, in Argentina, they just elected President Milei, who believes in free market to a certain extent. And what he did for the homeless in Argentina, he got rid of all the government rent controls. He was just elected, I think, in January.
Yeah, I've been following.
All the government rent controls and homelessness has dropped and is continually dropping dramatically.
Okay.
In his free market policies that he has instituted.
Okay, we have another caller. Let's take this other call. We have our weekly dose coming up in like 2 minutes. Rusty, go ahead.
Hey man, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Good morning to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, yesterday I called in on the show. Y'all could have remind me that it was Labor Day. Anyway, on to the real point. This guy, I don't know what happened really with the child. I heard somebody neck and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And sound like was swimming. Where was he swimming? Down on the bayfront?
Nevis, Penny's Beach. He ran off and apparently jumped in, dived in. Rusty.
Hello?
Rusty, can you hear us?
Hello?
Rusty?
Hey, we're hearing you. We're hearing you.
So Rusty, he ran off.
Okay, cool.
He ran off, dived into the beach at Penny's Beach in Nevis.
Okay, cool. But whatever happened, I know when we were young kids, and we used to be at the bayfront every summer. Go down Mackey Street, going to the short pier, and what have you. But there was someone, the adults would check the water to make sure no fish or whatever it was there that could interfere with us and that kind of stuff, barracuda or whatever it is, and checking out. But now we have beach and parks and beaches. Why are they not doing similar stuff to check the area, the water, and that kind of stuff? You can dive in the first 10 feet out, blah, blah, blah. All these things need to happen. But to come back to the politics, I'm very good at politics. The Prime Minister just call and say, the children, something is going to take care of this. Listen, you don't want to hear the children not going to take care of nothing. Because I remember last year when they were up here, they talk about we're going to get insurance ready for the whole of country, and Taiwan going to help us do this and blah, 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 blah. All that. The house is not yet. And the CMT hospital is not yet. Right? So what I would like for the poor child, if they're serious about helping, put the child on a plane, get all the doctors who need to travel with him to go wherever he needs to go, put them on a plane, get everything done. And then when the child come back and what have you, then you talk to the parents and say, okay, we spent about $1 million. We're going to actually have to pay us a quarter or something like that. I mean, come on. Where's the insurance? We're talking about insurance. Where is it? The last point I want to make, I'm not going to the thing now, is the school. I look at the school design. It's pure nonsense. Just a bunch of building and roof and that kind of stuff I see. Listen, do you know that whole school can change the whole life standard of the people who go into that school and others? But it comes on the design and what you put it into the building. That's what I want to hear. I want to know who designed it. Let them come and say, oh, we have this. I can assure you there is nothing in the design for agriculture. There's no quarter acre land up there that the children who are doing agriculture as an exam at TXC can do this stuff out there. Not just plant stuff, but work with different vegetables or what have you, and that kind of stuff. Whatever agriculture do. Nothing like that. Nobody come and say nothing to us. Just give some drawing, and that's it. I see the track with a football field inside it. I don't even know what people are sitting and watch the game. Where the spectators are going to be. Man, come on, man. We ain't serious. Thanks a lot for the call.
Okay, great. Yeah, that was one of the things I did notice. Okay, so we're gonna take a quick break. I think might hear the doctor at the door.
So we
Yeah.
have Weekly Dose up next. We have IC Jewelers at 9:15, and then we have the Department of Environment at 9:30. Alrighty, well, we'll take the break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
This Mother's Day, celebrate her. Be love with beautiful hand-finished jewelry from Pandora. Give like only you can with styles that shine as bright as your special bond. From radiant symbols to heartfelt messages, find the perfect way to light up her day. Tell her, thank her, be love. Shop Pandora Jewelry today.
Available at IC Jewelers, Fort Zante. Call 466-5853 for details.
Attention all shoppers, get ready to celebrate mom in style with our spectacular Mother's Day sales event happening May 7 to May 11. Join us at Hoxford's Furniture and Appliances, Ashley Furniture Home Store, and Hoxford's Building in Nevis Center for incredible deals. For 5 days only, it's a whopping 25% off store-wide on all cash and discountable items, plus double cash back on all higher purchase at our Hoxford Furniture and Appliances and Ashley Furniture Home Store from May 7 to 11. And for 3 days only at our Hoxford's Building and Nevis Center from Thursday, May 9 to Saturday, 11. Get 25% off store-wide on discountable items. From cozy sofas, luxurious bedroom sets, to state-of-the-art appliances, and home decor to DIY home improvement. We've got everything you need to make Mom's Day. Whether you're shopping for a thoughtful gift or looking to spruce up Mom's favorite space, our wide selection and unbeatable prices have you covered at all stores. Hurry in while supplies last. Happy Mother's Day from Hoxford's. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
8:34. It's time for Weekly Dose, and we got the good doctor on deck. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, everyone.
She said she's a bit exhausted. She looks it. She looks it, but not really.
Don't worry, we
She
got
still
you.
looks bright.
We got you. We knew. It was about 8:31, and I was like, I actually got up, opened the door. I said, she's gonna be here in a minute.
Yeah, I was peeping in there because
Yeah.
I'm accustomed to seeing
Yeah.
like this. So you know when you don't see good folk like that, you know something's up.
Yeah, and I was like dashing, and it speaks to the topic that we have
Oh
here
boy.
today. And being late or cutting it close always makes you feel so pressured in the traffic, and you're rushing, and that is a sure risk factor for having
And we
an
don't want any
accident.
of that
And we
because
don't
that's our
want any of
topic for
that.
today.
And we-
So we're happy that the doc dashed to the studio safely today.
So we're talking about what today?
We are talking about motor accidents.
Yeah.
Oh,
So doc,
okay.
may we dive into it?
Yes, we
Okay.
may. And this is something that has been happening in my last on-call week. So I'm going to talk about some of this and why I'm under so much tension this weekend. My partner's daughter, 23-year-old daughter, was involved in a motor vehicle accident. So this is a young lady in Texas.
Simple. Empathy. Sorry to hear.
She was out, I think, the Saturday to Monday morning, that 3 a.m. morning. There's been tons of rains and floods there. She's out with friends. She's in the back seat, left side behind the passenger. There are 5 persons in the car, and I think the gentleman was going fast, another young chap, and they got to a puddle. And in terms of swerving, he hit something, and he swerved, I think, right. She's in the back left. The vehicle is smashed. She's the only one hurt in the vehicle. At 22, she's had internal injuries, bowel injuries. Her uterus was bleeding profusely, and her ovaries, so she had a lot of blood loss. Had to be transfused 7 units of blood, packed red blood cells plus platelets. She broke both her legs. One of the shaft, the right shaft of the femur, that's the mid part of her thigh, that big bone there, that's the largest bone in the body. And the left head of the femur that goes right into the hip joint. And the hip bone, that pelvic bone is broken as well. So these are multiple severe injuries. She's had 2 surgeries so far where they worked on the bowel, control the bleeding. They were able to stem that. So for most part, the abdominal or the belly injuries are taken care of. And in the next couple of days, she has several more surgeries to do. She also injured her spine bone, what we call the vertebral column. Down by the tail, there's a break there, so the neurosurgeon would have to repair that. And the orthopedic surgeons have a lot of work to do on the extremities, all these broken bones and the pelvis. So she has a long road ahead of her. And yet again, young adults driving. The driver was under the influence, so of course his cognitive abilities was impaired.
Oh boy.
And the vehicle was uninsured. You couldn't ask for more problems like that. So they're just sorting out not just the medical aspect of it, but the legal aspect. So
And then we had flooding on top of all of that. Oh my
so
God.
they're going to be a
That's
long
a lot
road
of
ahead.
That's a
for
lot of
recovery.
things.
Lots
And you
of
said
stuff.
she was the only person.
Yes, with 5
Oh boy, I
persons in the
empathize.
vehicle.
She's
She's
the
the only
only-
one. Everybody
the
else walked
unlucky
away.
one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she's got some really severe injuries and stuff. Is in a lot of pain because of all the multiple fractures.
that's a lot of things.
And so, yeah.
My
So
gosh.
I brought this topic up because I think it is needed, and we've been seeing this too. In my last week of on-call, I had 2 major motor vehicle accidents. A young man was riding a motor vehicle. He ran into another vehicle. He was thrown from the vehicle and said that the vehicle ran over him. He had multiple injuries as well to the chest, multiple rib fractures, collarbone is fractured, his lung was punctured. So we are seeing these injuries. And then we had another individual who was brought in after there was a hit and run. That individual had multiple injuries and did not survive. So these motor vehicle accidents are real, and we see them quite often. And we need to do something about it. And in most of these cases, these persons had consumed alcoholic beverages as well too. So we always need to talk about that. So let's go on. So from some of the data I have, in the United States, motor vehicle crashes are a leading cause of death and kill about 100 people every day. However, these injuries are preventable, okay? You have to take steps to be safe. In 2020, almost 41,000 persons died in motor vehicle crashes in the United States. That is more than 110 persons killed in these crashes each day. There were over 2.1 million emergency room department visits for injuries from motor vehicle crashes in 2020. And deaths from crashes in 2020 in the United States resulted in over $430 billion in total costs. That includes medical costs and costs estimated to the loss of life. Around the world, around 1.19 million persons' lives are cut short each year due to road traffic accident. Between 20 and 50 millions more persons suffer fatal, non-fatal injuries resulting in disability. And so it adds a lot of economic costs and economic loss to individuals, to their family, and to the nation, of course. So we know that's why we're talking about this, because we're living this. This is real. We've had this in the last week and a half, many motor vehicle accidents, and so we need to talk about it.
Boy. So who is at risk as we begin this segment for motor vehicle accidents?
Yes, some of the persons that are more at risk, it usually comes down socioeconomic. Usually worldwide, the persons in the underdeveloped or subdeveloped or developing nations tend to have a higher risk of having road traffic incidents, according to the World Health Organization. And it is higher in nations like the African continent and lower in places like Europe. And when it comes into the first world countries themselves, like the United States, accidents tend to occur more in persons who have a lower socioeconomic background for many reasons we're going to discuss. It could be sometimes less educated, the risk takers, poor vehicles, poor quality vehicle, persons who are doing things, that they really shouldn't be doing.
But it occurred to me, though, it could simply be the fact that there are more of them.
More of persons who are socioeconomically disadvantaged. That may be true, but when you are economically advantageous, you have a driver who you're paying lots of money to take you there safely. He has to make sure he hasn't consumed any alcohol because he's on the job. There are lots of different things there.
Well, none of that worked with Princess Di, but anyway, I digress.
Well, that was a special case. She was being chased. We have to take into consideration age as well. Road traffic injuries lead to the is the leading cause of death in persons between the age of 5 and 29. And 2/3 of road traffic fatalities occur among the working people between 18 and 59. So it's the leading cause of death in young people and children between the age of 5 and 29. And when it comes to gender or sex, males are 3 times more likely to be killed in a road crash than females. Yet again, maybe that
take
helps
more
you.
risks.
You take more risk. You're thinking that you have to be tough. You're with your guy friends. You have to, like yesterday, I went to take a walk, and on the Frigate Bay Road, there's a group of guys on the motorcycles, and they're styling. They're doing several things. They're going fast by, and once you sometimes have male in a group, that male energy comes on, and you think that you have to be brave and that bravado and you're more likely to take risk.
Yep.
Stunting 101.
So what are the most common types of car accidents?
So for these car accidents, it all depends on how the collision happens, because that also indicate what level of injury you would have. So it could be a rear end collision where one vehicle hits the back of another. Okay? That could give you something like whiplashes, all depends, lower back pain. You could have a side impact collision, or what we call a T-bone, where one vehicle swipes the other. And if that is on the driver's side, that impact is great. That could create lots of injuries, fractures and stuff to that individual. Head-on collision, when both persons hit right on. Those tend to be some of the more severe, where both parties in the vehicles can have severe and life-threatening injuries. You could have multiple collisions, like several vehicles pile up, one hit the other one. You hear this happen in places where there are winter storms, there are different kind of things like that. So you have those, okay? And you could have a vehicular accident, a single vehicle accident. You run off the road, you go into a pole, you could run into a wall, okay, because of high velocity or something like that. Yeah. So these are some of the main ways that some of these vehicles accidents can occur.
So, what are the risk factors associated with motor vehicle accidents?
Jamsa, you're going to like this one. Speeding. We know that that is one of the leading things. An increase in average speed is directly related to the likelihood of a crash occurring and the severity of the injury. For example, it says that every 1% increase in the speed produces a 4% increase in the fatality of the crash, and a 3% increase in the seriousness of the injury. So the speed is very important to take that. And as you increase the speed, okay, the chances of the person dying increases significantly. Driving under the influence of alcohol and other drugs, other substances. So persons go out for a party and they think that they've had 2 drinks, they're feeling fine, but they're central nervous system is affected by the alcoholic beverages, and their response time is going to be severely affected. So then they're driving now under the influence now, and it increases the risk of them getting into an accident. In the story that I told you, the driver was impaired and he was arrested. Okay? So it says here that once you start having a significant increase above the blood alcohol limit or concentration above 0.04, your chances of getting into an accident increases. All right. And also, if you have drugs on board, sometimes you have your marijuanas, those can impair you. Your methamphetamines and those different pills.
The mollies and all those things.
Those
Does
can
it
impair
blunt your
The
response time?
gummies. Yeah.
What about things like not being prepared? The non-use of motorcycle helmets, your seat belt, and child restraint. Those things are very important. Oftentimes we have the guys from the motor vehicle accident, they have traumatic brain injury because they weren't wearing a helmet. If you are not wearing your seat belt, you can be flung through the windscreen and increase your chance of having more severe injuries or cause loss of life. So it's best to wear your seatbelt and ensure that your child is restrained in the car seat, those minors. So you have to know that, okay? So it says here, correct helmet use can reduce the risk of death in a crash by more than 6 times and the risk of brain injury by up to 74%. So wearing your helmet can decrease your chance of having any severe brain injury. And wearing your seatbelt, of course, reduces your risk of death by 50%. So we speak these things and they matter.
Let me ask a quick question on that. Would you, let's say, the doctors as a whole, would you maybe think it a good idea to ask the government to make wearing seatbelts in the rear seat compulsory? Because it's not compulsory, and I think it should be. I think it should be compulsory for the whole vehicle.
I agree on you with that one, Jamster.
Yeah, that is something that we really need to. And once you have the police here on their day, when they give their show, that is something we need to talk to, because that is important. Because as we said earlier, it all comes full circle, because the economic costs at the end too, when we have these injuries, affect the health care system. Okay, these patients have to be hospitalized for months, sometimes have multiple surgery, really expensive surgeries, have to be housed in an ICU. If we're unable to take care of them here, they have to be flown out. So that is a lot of money and resources. So it would be best that we advise them that everyone should wear their seatbelt.
And when you consider that the child's seat is in the back seat, it's mandatory. So it should be mandatory for adults as well. You know?
Yeah. And so it says the use of the child restraint can lead to a 71% reduction in deaths among infants.
Tell the parents that, Doc, because I've seen many cars with young children standing up in the middle, holding on to the driver's seat and the next person's seat, and that's not cool.
Yeah.
It annoys me.
We had an injury, a loss of an infant years ago, and that was very traumatic. She was sitting between her parents, like that, lived there and talking and laughing. She went through the windscreen, and we lost that child, and I've never forgotten that story.
You see that?
That was a few years ago. So a distracted driver too. Many of us, we are driving, and you know what that biggest distraction? Our cell phone. We are texting, and when you look at the text, because oftentimes when persons get into accident, when you look at the text message, the investigators found that the information was so trivial, it was not necessary to be sent.
Thank you.
So we're constantly thinking that we got it under control, and young adults do that. Oh, I'm going to send a quick message. Mary, I'm on my way. Or something ridiculous. Take out the chicken. I don't know, just random things. And then we need to stop doing that. We cannot be distracted. And even though we think that making a call, the mind focuses on one thing, even though we like to think that we can multitask, but most of the attention is going to one thing. So you take up the phone and you start dialing because you got to talk to your husband or you talk to your mother, and then you take your eyes off of the traffic for a split second, and it
That's
creates
it.
quite a bit of problem. Okay, and unsafe road infrastructure. In our small island, we know we had a lot of problems with that. A lot of safety, our roads are narrow, our roads are windy, and oftentimes, I'm not a traffic police, but some of these roads you're coming out of, you cannot see. You
Yep.
have to come so far out. And
Yep.
I've seen at times that they put a mirror there, then a couple weeks later, it is broken, it is destroyed.
Yep.
So persons can get assistance. But all of these are important. We've got to make sure the potholes are fixed.
Yep.
Okay, make sure that there are guardrails where they need to be placed, because the infrastructure matter. In this case, because there was some query in the individual I spoke about in Texas, there was a lot of flooding, there was a large puddle in the road, and it was being questioned if that road should not have been closed down, because many roads were closed down. Okay, and so that is where the unsafe road infrastructure, unsafe vehicles to play a risk. What if your vehicle is not tuned up, it doesn't have its maintenance thing.
Need
Your
brakes.
brake is poor. You don't have proper lighting.
Yeah.
Your side view mirror is broken. Your rear view mirror, and that can create lots of injuries, okay? And even to the law enforcement team, because we all have to come together. We have these laws on the books, but oftentimes they're not enforced. So the law enforcement team, in their part, they would have to enforce these laws, insisting that these seat belts are worn, insisting that the motorcyclists, they wear their helmets, insisting that we adhere to the speed limit, hence we would get a ticket, insisting that making stops and ensuring that persons are not driving under the influence. And that is how we help enforcing that, because once a rule is being enforced, persons will be much more careful not to break that rule. Hence, they do not go to prison, or hence they're not given a hefty ticket. So all of these play a role in that, okay?
So how are car accident injuries categorized?
So quite simply, once we have these injuries, there are two main things that are happening. It can be as a result of impact. You slam your head against the windscreen, against the steering wheel, against the side mirror, okay? And it's that impact. You're thrown from the motorcycle, and you're thrown in the air, and you drop on the concrete surface. I would tell you another story. I had a patient there a couple years ago, motorcyclists too, going speed because they're taking over the roads, they're trying to get ahead of the others, and he fell from his motorcycle, was thrown up in the air, dropped on the hard surface, and that resulted in severe injuries. So penetrating injury is another one. You can have broken glass, penetrate, okay, cutting you, giving you laceration. And if you have someone with an injury where penetrating, or a person, they're thrown out of the vehicle, and coincidentally there's some sort of pole there, and they're impaled on the pole. These are things you don't want to hear,
that.
but it has happened.
Yeah.
So you want to keep these things in mind, and those are the things that give you the severe injuries.
I remember
I
a friend
think-
of mine in Ghana had a light pole run through her. Yeah, that was sickening.
I was thinking that maybe a category that could be added is maybe freight type vehicles that don't have their stuff safely and properly, tied down and stuff.
I know exactly what you
You know?
mean, because we often are driving behind a vehicle and the stone is falling out, some of the stuff are
Yep.
falling out, because that provides, that creates risk on the street as well too.
I mean, like, you know how they, sometimes you see them transporting the rebar, right?
Yes.
And sometimes I'm driving, I'm thinking, what if one of those things just flies off and comes to the windscreen? And you know what I mean?
I tried.
Those have to be
Oh, boy.
safely
Secure.
fixed and secured there before they're transported.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy. So let's talk about the different types of injuries sustained after a motor vehicle accident.
So what are some of the head and back injuries, you ask? What are some of these injuries? We have Head and back injuries can be very severe. You can have a traumatic brain injury, and it can be mild, moderate, or severe. Depends on the level. That is where the brain cells are traumatized by the impact, okay? Some of these brain cells can be swollen. They can be bleeding in the brain, where we call a hematoma inside of the brain. And these can be life-threatening if not addressed. Some of these injuries can be so severe that the person dies or becomes what we call dead or a vegetable because of all these severe injuries. You can have injuries to your spinal cord. There was this young man, as I said earlier, riding a motorcycle, high speed, and he fell and he broke his back and his spinal cord was severed. And so he's paralyzed. These are the injuries that are caused by motor vehicle accident. What happens here in our society, and we need to have persons advocating and going out and speaking, because when these injuries happen, this person is put aside, almost becomes a non-factor in the community, where we need them to be involved, speaking to the younger generation, getting out there and being an advocate, saying, this is what happened to me. I do not want it to happen to anyone else. So we have a lot of persons in our community who are paralyzed as a result of motor vehicle accidents or sometimes gunshot wound. So these persons, and in that time, at that instance, of course, lots of stress on the family. They're hoping, the pressure is on the medical team, and when you let them know that these injuries cannot be repaired once you injure the spinal cord, it is very difficult to tell someone that. You could have facial injuries as well. You're breaking your bones in your face, distorting your face. Your nasal bone is broken. Your eye can have severe injury. You can lose your eye as well. Multiple cuts and lacerations in the face. And these are things that we don't want.
Well, are people aware of all of this and still doing the things that they do, living dangerous lives? Oh, my God. Let's talk about injuries to the neck and the chest.
So injuries to the neck and the chest. If you have a major injury to the neck, that could cause you to be paralyzed. What if the bones in the neck are broken and it impinges or damages spinal cord? I don't know if you've ever seen individuals who are what we call quadriplegic, mean that they're unable to move all their four limbs. Do you remember Christopher Reeves, the first Superman?
Yeah.
He became a quadriplegic after he was involved in a horse riding accident. So those are the kind of injuries, and we've had patients like that from motor vehicle accidents, okay? If the most common thing that can happen is a whiplash when your head go forward and back, just that's muscle pain and muscle contraction there. That could last a couple of weeks, but that is quite minor as compared to something if you were to break a bone or have a spinal cord injury. What if you have trauma to the chest? You can have rib fractures. You could have your lung collapse. This young man, the truck ran over him. He had multiple rib fractures. His lung was collapsed. And these are things that happen, okay? So you have broken bones there, and these injuries are very painful to the individual and can lead to lots of long-term health injury. You can have a heart attack, though you may think not. If you crush your breastbone, that can cause injury to the heart, and later on these persons can have severe heart problems, and especially if the individual is older, they can have a heart attack.
Oh, boy. Oh, my God. So what are some of the most common injuries to the arms and legs?
The arms and legs can suffer a lot of fractures, broken bones. You hear that. You've seen persons come in, they broke both their upper limbs and they broke broken limbs. So these persons and these injuries are long-term injuries with chronic complication, chronic pains. These persons need to have physiotherapy for sometimes years for them to get back on their feet. If you break your bone in your thigh, that's the biggest bone there, we call that the femur. You need major surgery for that. And those injuries sometimes at the end, no matter what, sometimes you have some deformity there and you never walk the same. This young lady, as I spoke to you earlier in the beginning, she's got multiple hip fracture. This is a long-term injury. This person needs lots of physiotherapy, and they may have limps
Afterwards.
Okay? Because of all of these complications. Sometimes you have persons with a limb shorter than one because of the fracture. You could lose bone material too. And so a limb may be shorter than the other, and you forever have this this gait, abnormal gait. You could have dislocated joints where, the way we have the joints, they can separate. We have had instances where people have been in motor vehicle accident, dislocated a joint, it ruptured a blood vessel, and they lost a limb. These things that we speak of is not just to scare persons, but to educate and to warn, because we don't want our people to have some of these injuries. We want to make sure that they're aware of the severity of these injuries so that we can prevent them.
What about penetrating injuries or internal injuries during an accident?
Those can be devastating because you don't know where that penetrating object is going into. What I want to make sure on the scene, let people know, do not remove that. It could be a pole, it could be a piece of glass. If it is in the abdomen, do not remove that there at all. Okay, unless the medical team is there, because in many instances...
You mean the average person that's looking at the accident,
yes,
not the medical personnel?
Yes, not the medical personnel, because they have to be prepared to remove that because you don't know what organ it has injured, and then you have massive bleeding afterwards, okay? Even that foreign body could be stemming that bleeding for a time, so it has to be removed carefully.
Okay.
Like sometimes you see someone with a knife impaled in them. You just don't go and pull that knife out, okay? Unless the medical team is there, and so that they could adjust this. So these penetrating injuries, they can injure inside the stomach, the bowels, the liver, the spleen, the kidneys. So these are things that and create much internal bleeding there.
How about some tips for avoiding car accidents?
Okay, how we go about avoiding these accidents? Okay, most of these accidents are avoidable. Okay, and you have to make these decisions. One of the things you got to do is stay current on your car maintenance. Sometimes you know that you need to get your car serviced, but you keep putting it off. What if something is going on wrong inside that vehicle? You need to stay that. You get your brakes done, your tires fixed, okay? And get the by someone who's qualified to look at it.
I was just about to talk about the brakes, yes.
Avoid electronic distraction. There is nothing that important you need to tell somebody on WhatsApp when you're driving or send them a thing. Sometimes we're driving and we're looking at these Instagram videos and we get distracted and then something happens. You don't want to do that. If there's something you have to communicate, let the passenger, you can hand them your phone, let the passenger make that call for you.
And also on the other side, I guess I would like to say, because I'm someone that jogs, right? And sometimes I go jogging when it's twilight or even darker. I think it's important to wear
high visible,
like a high visibility color,
yes.
you know,
okay.
like you know.
Okay, yeah, those for okay. Don't drive impaired. We spoke about this, not consuming alcoholic beverages. If you're going to a party, have someone be the designated driver. Call someone, we're going to be out late, but I need you to come and get us at 2 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, so that you do not drive. Because some person think that they have 2 drinks, I'm fine, I can do this, but they cannot. And in high stress conditions, such as driving and stuff, you can create a problem. And you want to slow down. Too many times we're going nowhere fast. We're going nowhere fast because we're on a small island. Most of the places is not that serious. It's not that far. And we're overtaking and we're doing the most on the street and we're going nowhere fast. Because what happens once there's an accident, all the speed and on the rush you had, it's completely gone now, and you realize that it really didn't matter so much. So you have to slow down. And if the roads is rainy, there's ice on the roads, you've got to make sure that you're much more cautious during those times, okay? And stay vigilant behind the wheel and keep a safe distance from the vehicle ahead of you.
Tell them to keep off.
Persons are driving too close onto the other individual.
Close.
So if that person breaks suddenly, you rush into them and create a problem, okay? That later is going to give you long-term chronic back pain, neck pain, and different things like that.
Whiplash right there.
Yeah. So these are some of the things we want us people to think about, because The best thing to do is prevent these injuries, because once we have these injuries, it's a lot of what if, why shouldn't I, and you're second guessing things. And then there's all the associated psychological post-traumatic stress disorders that comes with these severe injuries, the loss of a limb. Your life can be altered forever. So let's think and plan ahead. You need to plan to leave earlier so that you don't feel pressured to rush to get to your job, because we want to avoid these accidents. There's a lot we can do once these accidents happen. A lot of persons we can save, but there's some that we won't be able to save. And some, even though they're saved, they have long-term complications.
Yeah.
So if we can have a healthier society, remember, everyone is contributing. And so if we have more persons sick, more persons hospitalized, more persons paralyzed, it's a more of an economic strain on the community. So everything comes full circle.
There's something I want to say, and this is kind of an extension of what I said just a few minutes ago. You know, we had that hit and run incident the other day.
Yeah.
I think it's important, listeners, if you know you're going to be a pedestrian in areas where it's maybe dark, and drivers might not see you, try and wear a bright colored shirt or something. You know, because I can tell you sometimes I'm driving and I barely see someone passing the street and they're wearing something like gray and it's like that or black.
And persons
and you
need also to do, so when they're crossing, not keep your face to the left, but you should be watching back and forth.
Exactly.
Because you don't know where the vehicles are coming
But
from.
what about the pedestrian? I've always noticed this. The pedestrian, they're walking across and they have not made eye contact, not
With
once
the
with the
vehicle?
driver.
No, they
you
have
have
this,
to have
yes.
this communication.
Yeah.
You see me, I see that you see
Even
me.
if the
and
driver
you-
says I can go, I am stepping
Yes.
and looking
Well,
again and
well,
making sure it's okay,
but
because I'm not going to be
But
killed
you
by
know,
a car.
there's this weird thing people do. It's like it's a sort of quasi resentment. It's like, oh, you think because you're driving? Well, I'm gonna walk across the road and knock me down if you think you're bad. That's
Not
what it's
good.
giving. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they deliberately don't watch you. Like,
Yeah, because they figure
But
out
then
the crossing.
I always have that communication, because I'm like, you see me or you're giving me permission. Ultimately, you are the one who's going to be injured as the
walker.
pedestrian.
and they stroll across like they're turtles.
Yes,
you know?
as a pedestrian. So we don't need to have that at all. We need to be courteous to
Yes,
each other.
exactly.
And if there's a stop sign, do not cross when it's not your time to cross at that particular
Not
time.
because you're on the pedestrian crossing,
Exactly.
as Officer Sophie said, doesn't give you the right. You wait your turn.
Wait your turn.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, you are going to be hurt if you're injured.
And
What
I
does it
always say,
benefit you?
cars are never in the hospital. A car can go and get their bumper sorted out, but you hop in and drop in. So, you know, people
So
have
we
to
want
be mindful.
people to be careful.
Yeah.
And we're having an increase in these motor vehicle accidents. I gave you data: 1.19 million persons worldwide
Around the
die
world.
every year from motor vehicle accidents. Lots of persons are left injured with permanent injuries as well, too, losing limb, losing an arm, losing an eye. We want to avoid this because that changes your functional ability and your contribution to your family and socioeconomically. If we have healthy people in our society is a wealthy society.
Yep.
Okay.
They always say health is wealth.
And this is a good time to say once again to the traffic department, it came to our attention last year that apparently they don't do any analytical and critical collection of data in terms of auto accidents. And it would be nice if we could get statistics.
We need statistics.
You gave us statistics for the U.S. It would be nice
We need
if
local
we could-
data
yes.
in every aspect. We're not
Yes.
collecting data and
Exactly.
having them.
and actioning it to
Yes.
help to minimize and
Yeah,
reduce
exactly.
these incidences.
Yes,
Right.
because
Yeah.
without data, we can't make changes.
Exactly.
Exactly. You're correct.
Doc, it was a great show.
It was indeed.
10
I
minutes.
pray for the speedy recovery of your loved one, and don't drink and drive, and be mindful whilst you're on the road.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, don't look at me when you say don't drink. What you
I
looking at me-
didn't look
what
at
you. Looking at me for?
Have a great
I'm just
day,
kidding.
everyone.
Thank God it's me, right? Because I'll get jabs.
Okay, we have Icy Jewelers coming up next at 9:15, 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. The good doctor will be back with us next Tuesday. Don't forget, it's moved to 8:30 now, not 9. Weekly dose.
Okay.
Doc, have a great day.
You too. Have a great day, everyone.
different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
Moms, this Mother's Day is all about you. So soak it up and do the things that you love doing, such as spending your day at the Chop Shop Salon and Spa. Our exclusive discounted Mother's Day packages and gift vouchers will be on sale from May 1st until May 15th. Our Radiant Goddess package includes a manicure, a pampering pedicure, and rejuvenating 45-minute full body massage for $350 EC, VAT inclusive. Our Fresh Radiant package includes a fresh deep cleansing facial, rejuvenating 45-minute full body massage, manicure, and pedicure, all for just EC $399 VAT inclusive. Our Serenity Escape package includes a 30-minute head massage, followed by shampoo and deep conditioning, and a blow dry. All this for only $195 EC, VAT inclusive. Get our gift vouchers and ask about our free retail cards that can be used to buy products. This Mother's Day, make memories with your mom because they are the best kind. Call our location in Port Dante at 667-7243, our Frigibin location at 661-7243, or in Nevis at 662-7246 for more information.
So in about 2 minutes, we're going to be having someone from Icy Jewelers. You guys know it's getting mighty close to Mother's Day, right? What you doing for Mother's Day? Okay.
Me?
What you doing for Mom?
I don't know. Most likely I have to work. Well, I don't know yet.
Okay.
Mom, if you're listening, I don't know.
Okay. So people should be thinking about what you're going to be doing for Mother's Day, whether you're going to take her for dinner or give her maybe a nice weekend, like a staycation at Kauai or even Bird Rock Beach. That's fine.
Who's doing that? You?
Well, my mother doesn't live here, so I'm the
so
only.
what are you doing for your mom? Since you're gonna put me on
I'm the only
spot
one
too.
that doesn't live. I'm the only one that lives here. So.
Oh, so you need to move too?
Huh?
You need to move as well?
If I need to move?
To be closer to mom.
No.
Okay.
But yeah, so Mother's Day coming up, and we start hearing about all the great jewelry deals and so on happening at the various jewelry shops and so on.
Especially?
Namely, Icy Jewelers. And we have it's exactly 9:15. I was just trying to count down to the time,
Yeah.
So we have the perfect. I just got the perfect segue set up.
Oh.
So we have our representative from Icy Jewelers.
Yeah. Can they
Good
guess
morning.
who it is?
How are you doing?
Good morning. I wonder if they can guess. Everybody knows my voice by now, I'm sure.
If we had a quiz, who is the representative from Icy Jewelers? Good morning, Deidre.
Good morning. Just I was like,
what?
For those who don't know me as Deidre, is also Cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always forget the Deidre, and that's the thing.
Oh, so you go with Cindy?
Everybody
yeah.
knows
Oh,
it's
Cinnamon. Oh, okay.
I always forget that one.
Okay. Well, we are going to use the professional name today, Deidre. So,
no
Deidre,
problem.
tell us what's happening down at Icy Jewelers.
All right. So at Icy Jewelers, as Jamsa was saying, Mother's Day is coming up. And if you're wondering what to do, along with the staycation and the nice dinner, we have nice options for gifts available at Icy Jewelers right now, and lots of deals that are happening. So our main brand, everybody knows and everybody loves. I see Kortensia has on hers a Pandora bracelet.
Oh boy!
For those who don't know what Pandora is, it's a beautiful sterling silver and 14 karat gold jewelry collection. It's more focused on charms, but they also have earrings, necklaces, and rings available as well. And right now, Pandora has some, not just one, but multiple promotions going on right now for Mother's Day. Yes, so what we have right now is there is special gift packages available. These are packages that they put together, nice necklace and earrings packages that they put together, and they will give you so if it's for $200, then you get it at a discounted price, which is maybe $280 or $180, sorry. But then there's also an additional 30% off on the special price that's going on right
So
now.
they have a special price for the combo, and then there's an additional
discount.
30% for Mother's Day.
Yes,
okay,
for Mother's Day
good stuff.
on that gift set. They also have another promotion that's going on where if you spend $125 you get a free bangle bracelet that's valued at $85. That's a sterling silver bracelet.
If you spend
$125,
you get a free sterling. What?
Yes. Pandora is full of specials every year around Mother's Day.
Oh my gosh.
They also have one more special, which is the Last Chance collection. Those are charms that you can find at 30% off. You might be able to find a lovely rose gold plated charm or a silver charm or even a gold plated charm on sale, 30% off.
What is it?
I just thought you said $30. I was thinking
No, 30%. It can reach maybe as low as $30.
Okay.
But they also have charms starting at $25. So
okay,
option is available.
So what does a charm look like?
For those who can
that
see,
goes around your wrist.
So it goes around
All right.
the sterling silver bracelet, and it's little charms that holds little memories. There's charms for every occasion. There's birthdays. We have the new Mother's Day collection that's in store right now. They have a charm that says, "Don't mess with me, I'm a mom," or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I love that charm.
You're gonna get it?
I might. Don't mess with me. I'm a mom. Come on. But they have birthdays, anniversaries, initials. The list goes on.
Oh, so you can get initials and all that.
Yes,
Okay.
you can get your birthstones. You can get happy birthday charms. You can get "I love you, Mom." "I love you to the moon and back." You mean the world to me. "I love you more than all the stars in the sky." So they have nice sayings at the back of individual charms that you can give your mom for Mother's Day.
You really know to butter up your mom, don't you?
I'm not a mom, but I bought this and I wear it on my charm bracelet, and it says "I love you, Mom," because I really do love my mom.
Okay. So
Yeah, I don't have any from my dad, but that's sad. But yeah, but I got a "I love you, Mom" on my bracelet.
Yeah, we're accustomed to the neglect.
No,
no.
not saying
We-
no.
I'm just playing.
But yeah, I got the
All
"I
the
love you,
dads
Mom."
always say that. That's not true.
Oh, we get short shrift, but
Lord.
we were manly, so we can handle it. You know,
broadbacks.
Yeah.
Broadbacks. Yes.
So apart from the Pandora collection, we know you have Swarovski, we know you have Guess, we know you have a variety of
You can see who's
perfumes.
been at Icy
You have
Jewelers shopping.
Alex and Annie's. What else is available for moms?
So we also, speaking of perfumes, we have a wide selection of perfumes from all of the top brands that you might know of: Coach, Jimmy Choo, Givenchy, Versace, Chloe, Burberry. Name it, and we have it.
Yeah,
and we have right now going on for the whole week until Mother's Day, 20 to 40% off on perfumes.
Even the Van Cleefs and Pearls.
Oh,
The Angel. Mugler.
On selected perfumes.
Oh, selected. Oh,
but I do think some of those are on special as well.
okay.
Yes. So 20
That's
to
good
40%
taste.
off.
Terry Mugler.
Yeah.
Okay.
We also have some gift sets, some perfume gift sets on special as well. So ideas. I'm giving you so many ideas for your mom.
And then it's just good to point out to people that the mom thing can be looked at from the angle of the husband or the boyfriend
Yes,
who
or
has a
baby mama.
significant other. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Or-
for everybody. It's not just for the
No.
women to go and shop
Exactly.
for
It
their
can be
moms.
for a godmother.
There you go. Yeah.
Jamster could go and buy a charm for his wife. She's a mom.
Yeah, something
So
like that.
it doesn't have to be from a child given to a mom, but as you were saying, it can be. I'm given to my child's mother. I am given to a godmother. I'm given to an auntie who's like a mom to my child, a grandmother. The list goes on.
Yeah.
So it's Mother's Day is not just a one type of person category.
There you go.
It's a broad spectrum. It can be also for a dad who plays a mother's role as well.
Mrs. Strokes. Why you gotta clear your
You
throat?
know, some children grow up without a mom, and their dad has been both mom and dad as well. So if you just want to show appreciation to that person, we do have some lovely male perfumes on sale as well.
Colognes, those-
Cologne on sale.
Yeah,
sorry.
because we don't
Colognes.
want
Fair
the
enough.
guys to get us.
He already
Fair
cleared
enough.
his throat.
9:22. Hey, this is a good time. So let's hear the ad from Icy Jewelers, and we come back and wrap some more with the Icy Jewelers rep.
This Mother's Day, celebrate her. Be love with beautiful hand-finished jewelry from Pandora. Give like only you can with styles that shine as bright as your special bond. From radiant symbols to heartfelt messages, find the perfect way to light up her day. Tell her, thank her, be love. Shop Pandora Jewelry today.
Available at IC Jewelers, Port Zante. Call 466-5853 for details.
So there you had it. You had the number for Icy Jewelers. If you're a sharp listener, you would have picked up the number. But we got the rep here, so she can. I'm going to make sure she gives you the number again at the very end as you prepare for Mother's Day 2024.
So Deja, what else do you have in store?
All right, so we also have Coach bags that are on special right now, 30% off Coach bags. We have Coach wristlets. We also have
Coach
Fossil-
wristlets? What's
yes. So a wristlet is like it's not a purse or a wallet per se, but it's a small
Little pouch?
Yeah, like a little pouch
okay.
that goes
With a
over your
hand.
wrist.
Okay.
With
If
a
you don't
handle.
want to go to town with a big bag, you just want to put a few cash, your cards.
Yeah, I've seen those. I didn't know that's what they call those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now you know. You learn a thing or two here.
Jams, you know what they call a man purse?
A merce.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh.
no.
I have one. Well, actually, I have two. I have two,
Okay.
actually.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We also have Fossil watches on special, 30% off on Fossil watches in
Okay.
store. That's also men collection as well. So we have mantra bands. For those that don't know what a mantra band is, it's a stainless steel bracelet that has nice inspirational quotes like "Be true, be you, be kind," or "You are beautiful," "Family forever," "I love you, mom." And you wear those, and if you're having like a down day, you look at your mantra, and it's supposed to lift
you
your
up.
spirits.
So
a little.
give us the prices for those, like the mantra bands and the what was the other thing? The charms. Whoa.
So the charm starts as low as 68 EC. That's the lowest that they start. The mantra bands, they start at 81 and 104 EC dollars.
Okay.
108 EC dollars, sorry.
And what's the choice of metals and gems, I guess?
With the bracelets, it's sterling silver for the Pandora. So sterling silver, but they do have 14 karat gold collection for those who love their gold. With the mantra bands, it is stainless steel, but we know some females can only wear gold jewelry, so we also have a wide selection in 10 karat and 14 karat gold jewelry, starting as low as, I would say, 65 US. So that is what, 175.50 EC for a nice pair of earrings, or we have chains, bracelets, rings, you name it. For the men who might want to propose to their baby mama, finally, get down on their knees and do the right thing.
Finally. Oh my god.
We also have lovely engagement ring sets available in 14 and 10 karat gold.
Yeah, because propose on Mother's
On
Day.
Mother's
Why
Day.
not?
I'm giving ideas here, you know?
Yeah.
So
As they
perfect
just say,
time.
finally.
I was so finally because I know how that goes.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, okay, mistress.
I was just thinking, I was thinking about those wristlets and so on, and I was just thinking, I don't have any allergies. You know what my one allergy is?
You?
Silver.
Oh.
Silver.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know.
Jams, you heard me say you?
Yeah. I'm
I know
allergic
a
to
few
me?
persons.
Yeah.
How does that work?
We could be allergic to ourselves sometimes.
Yeah, I'm allergic to silver. When I put on silver, I get
Right.
Little
like
rashes
burn.
and so. Yeah.
Ooh.
I know a few persons that are like that. They can't wear any silver jewelry, silver earrings, nothing. And that is why we have Swarovski jewelry for ladies who are like that, because Swarovski jewelry, they are the metal is rhodium, so it's hyperallergenic. The posts for the earrings are hyperallergenic. They won't do you anything. They won't cause any irritation. It's crystals. They're made from crystals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It lasts like a really long time. Really, really long, for years.
Okay, that sounds good. It's 9:27. So Icy Jewelers doing their thing as usual for Mother's Day.
For Mother's Day.
2024. You want to give them do you guys have like a Facebook page or anything?
Yes,
like
we do have Facebook. We are
that? Or
on
maybe
Facebook.
you have pictures of the stuff and so on.
We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. You can just search for us on Facebook. It's Icy Sinkits. On Instagram, just look for Icy Jewelers. We post every day. We have deals of the week, deals of the day. We have when they have new promotions for Pandora, when we're having specials in stores. Also, right now, we have an in-store raffle that's going on for Mother's Day. For anyone who comes and shop, it doesn't matter if it's just 25 US, 10 US, whatever amount you spend, your name gets to go in that raffle box for a chance to win a bag filled with goodies, including a perfume, ladies, and wine for Mother's Day. So that's going on also at Icy Jewelers.
So to be clear, Mother's Day is Sunday coming, right?
The 12th.
The 12th. Okay.
It's Sunday already?
Always the
Yeah, I
second
know. Crazy,
Sunday
right?
in May.
Second Sunday, yeah.
Yes. I didn't know that.
Yes.
And my mom is listening. Oh my
So
God.
Kortensia, you need to come on down to Icy Jewelers and get a lovely gift for mommy.
So folks, Mother's Day is just Sunday. It just occurred to me actually. I said, wait, that's Sunday.
This one, y'all, this Sunday.
This Sunday.
Yeah,
and we're
this
almost
Sunday.
in the middle of the week.
Yeah, so y'all really had to rush down to Icy Jewelers.
Yes, before all the good stuff goes.
God, tomorrow is Wednesday. That's crazy, huh?
And you know, once
Yeah.
Wednesday arrives, the week is done. Oh boy.
Okay. So we give you the last word. You have like a minute.
Sure. For those who don't know where we're located, we are located at Port Sante, just before that bar in the center. What's the bar?
No, that used to be Rum Barrel.
Yes, that used to be Rum Barrel Lord Cheers, whichever one you know it as. So we were located just before that. But of course, if you can't find us, just give us a call at 466-5853, and one of our lovely representatives will be more than happy to help you come outside, meet you, or give you instructions.
AKA Deidre.
Yes, and for our neighbors listeners, we also do cater for you as well. We can send your items on the boat. We have ways that you can do payment as well. And we do mobile banking payment as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. So you can buy and come and pick up.
Yes.
Well, will
we
wrapping
can send it
services
to
be
you.
available?
Yes, free of cost.
Okay.
Do you guys have a cell, like a WhatsApp number or anything? If someone, or maybe a cell phone number, some people. I mean, really and truly doesn't really make a difference, because when you call from cell to, it's the same now from what I was told. So.
We have a number that you can possibly.
Oh,
possibly
okay.
reach.
Okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know. I did not know. Deidre, what about clothing?
Yes, we also have a clothing boutique at the back. A little hidden gem at the back where you can find lovely clothing. All the tropical fets that are coming out, we have lovely items, so you can get clothing items, jewelry, affordable fashion jewelry for that finishing touch from at least 40 EC and up. Yeah, handbags.
Okay,
the
sounds
list
good.
goes on.
Icy Jewelers is the place to go check for Mother's Day. Don't forget Mother's Day. It's Sunday, people.
This Sunday, don't wait until it's too late. Okay.
Okay. All right, 9:30, and nice seeing you. And hopefully we'll see you back for Father's Day, maybe.
Of course. We'll do something for the
Yeah,
fathers.
so what you have to say, hopefully. Say, we will see you back on Father's Day. Yes, no hope.
Fathers, we got you covered. Don't worry.
Exactly.
Gotta treat us good.
Exactly.
After all.
So no hoping. She will
One
be
hand
back.
can't clap, right?
Exactly.
Okay, 9:30.
This Mother's Day, celebrate her. Be love with beautiful hand-finished jewelry from Pandora. Give like only you can with styles that shine as bright as your special bond. From radiant symbols to heartfelt messages, find the perfect way to light up her day. Tell her, thank her, be love. Shop Pandora Jewelry today.
Available at IC Jewelers, Port Zante. Call 466-5853 for details.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Hey kids, drink healthy. Reduce sugar chubby with the same great taste. Lots of magic fruity flavors. Drink the more healthy way.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Be active, be healthy. Drink lots of chubby. Kicking football, playing cricket, having fun in the sun.
It's chubby.
Reduced sugar chubby keeps you cool and refreshed.
It tastes so yummy, chubby, chubby.
25% less sugar chubby. Jumping rope, running races, have fun.
It tastes so yummy, chubby.
Drink the more healthy way.
Rams the good food people, always there to serve you. Rams the good food people, locations right near you. Rams the good food people, in-store specials for you. Rams the good food people. When you need better service, Rams is always here. Better value, better prices. Rams is always here. We want your loyalty. Rams is always here. We are community. We are family. We are family. Rams for you and me. We are community. Rams for you and me.
It's 9:33 Island Tea time, and it's time to wrap with the Department of Environment as they roll out their plastic phase-out program.
Yeah.
Did I put it?
Yes, you.
We got
Okay.
Kashif in the building, so he's gonna
Okay.
lament on it some more. Good morning, welcome to Island Tea.
Good morning. It's good to be back once again.
Oh, happy to have you.
It's brilliant. So, yes, I'm here to talk about our single-use plastic ban and all the effects and things that are brought along with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, as many people would have heard or seen over social media, via the radio, even television, the Department of Environment has now taken the initiative to ban single-use plastics. And I just want to clarify what single-use plastics are, for those that may not know. Those are plastic items that normally you use once and you throw away.
Throw it away.
Correct. And usually it ends up in the landfill or in the ocean. And so we're taking affirmative action in order to prevent these items from being imported and sold within our territory.
Okay. So outline what the single-use plastics are, just for clarity, so folks know what we can expect.
So there are a wide range of single-use plastics actually, but our ban would focus on T-shirt plastic bags, styrofoam food containers and cups and plastic cups, as well as plastic utensils such as forks, straws, and spoons. And those are the major items that we are looking at to basically ban in a phase approach, a three-phase approach. And so hopefully the alternatives would provide sufficient use and we won't even miss them, hopefully, when they're gone.
You said three-phase, so has any of the phase started as yet?
So we've made the announcement. None of the phases have started as yet.
So when was the announcement made? Let's get to that so we can refresh the minds of those who would have heard it but may have forgotten.
Okay. All right, so the announcement was made in Parliament, which would have been in the first week of April.
Okay.
And basically it outlined our three-phase approach and the dates we have with it. So phase 1 would be T-shirt shopping bags. So our ban on importation of these items starts on the 31st of December.
Okay. This year?
This year.
Okay.
And we plan to ban the sale and distribution of these items as of March 31st next year.
Okay.
So that's phase 1, T-shirt shopping bags. So I know many people have been asking, so you mean all the plastic bags, all the wrappers that certain things come in? No. T-shirt plastic bags, that's the plastic bag that is basically given to you as you leave the supermarket.
Or the vendors on the side of the road.
Correct. And then phase 2, we have styrofoam food containers and plastic straws. And that begins from April 30th of 2025. And the ban on the sale of said item starts on July 31st, 2025.
Hold up. You said you on the 30th of April next year. What are we doing? I thought. Okay, I'm confused. So repeat that for me so that somebody else that's confused in Radio Land can understand.
Okay, so the first dates I give you are basically what we call the ban on importation dates. So that means basically that any business, any person cannot import these items past said date. The second date that I'm giving you is the ban on sale and distribution, which would mean that you may have some stock left over. Some supermarkets, some persons would have bought in bulk and, they're trying to sell off the investment. And so we're giving you a bit of extra time to basically
sell them off. Okay. So after July 25th, no more sales. So what were persons who have these items? Are you going to go to ensure that you maybe take them from them or ensure that they're not selling them? What if they have an overly excessive amount left?
Okay, so that's a brilliant question. So we would hope that they would try to remove our stock or move our stock before the said dates. But what happens after the dates have been enacted, we would go and do our spot checks and verify. There'll be very random dates. You won't know when we're coming.
That's a good way.
Yes. So we're trying to make sure that everybody is complying. And I do think that everybody has an appetite to comply as well. So we're not expecting much trouble.
Okay, good
once
stuff.
Once
Glad
it
to
occurs,
hear.
yes.
Okay.
Now, I notice you talk about a plastic, your environmental month. When is that exactly?
So our environmental month is June.
June.
So, yes.
And your theme is plastic versus the planet.
Correct.
Okay.
So basically, Environmental Day is in June. And we take that and we turn it into a whole month because, I mean, why not a month? We need a whole month, to...
And especially to make people aware of the phase out, right? Yeah.
Correct. So for Environment Month, we have many things planned. But if we stick to single-use plastics, we're going to have a no plastic bag month to get basically everybody acclimated.
Oh, and no plastic bag month instead of the no plastic bag Mondays alone. Okay, good stuff.
Correct. So we are looking to have no plastic bag month so that people adapt and people understand that it may not be as bad as you initially think and the alternatives may be cheaper, especially with, concessions around. And so we want everybody to understand that, okay, for this month, no plastic bags. You learn about the alternatives. It's basically like a dry run. And by the time the month is over and we fully enact the ban, it's going to be like an easy transition.
Easy, yeah. I remember when I lived in Antigua and they first started that, right? Let me tell you, I always get in catch when I go to the supermarket. And then they stopped filling up the box area where you could have gotten boxes from. Listen, so this is what me and my sister did. Once we were done with the supermarket, we came home, we offloaded, we make sure we return the bags right away to the car. That even if we forget to take the bags in the supermarket, we can always go to the car and bring them out until we got accustomed to it. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, they stopped giving the box. They just stopped putting boxes there. So you had to bring your bag.
Yeah, and it's these cultural changes that we want people to start experiencing and adapting to.
Yeah.
Okay, so the National the national, I see there's a national conservation and environmental bill. Is that one of the things they did the first reading last week, or is that still to come?
It's still to come.
It's still to come. Okay.
Currently,
I wasn't
there's
sure.
some work being done on it, but hopefully, before the end of Environment Month, we'll be hearing more things about it publicly. But basically, the bill is basically an update of our current legislation. So our previous legislation is outdated from about 1987, and so it wouldn't reflect a lot of modern day situations.
Okay.
Even fines, I mean, $5,000 here and there is not a big deterrent anymore. And so what we're trying to do is basically update the legislation, make it more reflective of our current situation, especially now that we have single-use plastics being banned, and move on from there.
Okay. I have a question. Does the department have any kind of teeth in making, maybe policing things like people throwing things like cans and plastic bottles out their car? I mean, take for example, coming down Wellington Road, across on the western side of the road, across from the bus terminal, there is a little area there where people just pile up their food containers, bottles. Is there anything the environmental department? Do you guys have any kind of any kind of influence in maybe helping to have legislation firmed up to make people stop just littering like this?
Yes.
And it's mostly plastic. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
So that's a very brilliant question. So with our current legislation, which is the NCPA, we have ex officio litter wardens. That would be the police officers and persons that work via SWMC. And we realized that kind of limited the amount of people we could have on the ground dealing with situations that you mentioned, Jamster. And so with the update to the NCPA, which is now the NCMA, we hope to have more ex officio wardens. And we also want to give certain people the power, because I don't like to hear the fact that we have to wait for somebody from the Department of Environment or SWMC or the police force to do something about it. You as a common citizen see a concern, you should be able to say, hey, this is an issue, and bring it to light. And even a group of people, so we'll have management agencies and stuff that are available to help the public manage these type of things, because as you said, littering, especially in these type of areas, has become serious. I mean, I think up to just Friday, I got an image of a drain by Newtown Primary School.
Ooh.
And the amount of plastic trash that I saw there was ridiculous. And I'm sure that the school themselves would have wanted to do something about it earlier than rather wait on us.
Okay. Now, you I see mentioned here in some of your material, your promotion material, you talked about education campaigns and ongoing conservation efforts. Does this include things like maybe trying to create awareness at the grassroots level meaning kindergarten, that kind of thing, letting kids understand that it is deleterious to the environment to be just dumping trash, dumping candy wrappers, whatever it is,
Okay. Yes, so we have a high environmental education program. A lot of our focus is within the schools, from primary straight up to CFBC, and a lot of times there are a lot of school visits, there are a lot of field trips, and as you said, the children really absorb the message well, and they are a good vector or carrier to take back home, whether it be to friends or family. So we have delved deeply into doing that. I think one of our activities for Environment Month is actually participating in the children's parade, because we have a mascot and everything that should be a part of it.
Okay. 9:45, we just had another team member from the Department of Environment joining. Go ahead, Doc. Introduce yourself.
Pleasant good morning.
Good morning.
Eric Brown, Forestry Officer, Department of Environment. It's a pleasure being here to drink some tea.
Oh boy, but we have no tea, Dr. Brown. It's just fanciful decoration today.
You should have told me that. I could have bought some tea from in the forest, man.
Next time.
So, what brings you here today?
Well, today, as part of the Department of Environment, not because you hear me say I'm the forestry officer, we also have our part to play, especially when it comes to the no plastic.
Yeah, because we dump them out there when we go on our hikes.
Man, instead of coming down, people go up to dump in the guts and along the trails and everything. And it's a constant battle for us, because dumping these things in the forests is not healthy for the environment in there. In there is highly organic. And the forest itself, if you leave the forest by itself, you don't have to do anything to it, and it will remain healthy. The culprits to degrading forests is man.
Yep.
We are the ones, right? We are a very destructive species here on the planet. And if the forest and anywhere around, we leave our not just footprints, but we leave our waste print. And we want to tell folks, refrain from doing that. But even more to that, when we talk about the no plastic, and we talk about the plastic ban and all of those things, we're banning of single-use plastics. One of the questions that persons keep coming to me with is the effect it would have economically, especially on small business. And I am very close to small business, right? I interact very closely with small business. And when we speak about the alternatives to the single-use plastics, we talk about the alternative, especially when we talk about food vendors, food containers. And the thing that comes out all the time is the cost, right? The cost. Everything in this life has a price. The Bible tells us that we were bought with a price.
But at the same time,
right?
Maybe I should let Mr. Hines answer this. As part of the legislation, is the government going to implement any kind of incentivization where maybe they make these things VAT-free or so on? Because let's face it, a lot of this eco-conscious stuff, it costs a lot more.
Correct.
And so is that part of the
Yes, so actually,
the policy?
So actually, it's a major part of the policy. That was one of the first things we look at. So we've been in deep discussion with customs, and we've been basically trying to identify sources. What do we accept as biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and there is going to be some form of concession given to the end user when it comes to the ban, when it's fully implemented.
Okay.
I'm glad you went along that route, because what comes about the cost, where I was going with this is this. The cost of the material that is being used now, if you were to look at the trend over the years, the cost of those are also going up. They're not going down, they're not stable, they're not staying the same. They're going up, and they're going to keep going up and up and up.
Okay.
So you say that the alternatives cost a lot now. They're going to go up too.
Yeah.
So what is it? It's time now to make the change now before both things may become even the same cost and made a higher cost.
Okay.
But my take on it is this. We see the cost of changing. What is the cost of not changing? What is the cost? We continue along the path that we are going, and we continue using those materials, the single-use plastics. Where are we going to put them? You're talking about the landfill.
I was just about to
Somebody was saying they're going to move the landfill. When I heard that, I wanted to know to where.
I remember Bridges, God rest his soul. I remember Bridges actually at one point said that the landfill had actually filled up before it was projected to have filled up.
Yes.
Because of
plastics?
Because of
plastics.
plastics.
And yes.
Exactly. And if our good brother Bridges said that, how many years ago he said that?
That was about 10, 12 years ago.
Thank you. So imagine where we are at today. And with the increased use of these things, what's going to happen 5 years down the road if we continue? What is the cost of not changing? If we change now to the alternatives, which is made of paper, we're talking about tree pulp, bagasse, right? Bamboo, and these things, even glass in some instances, and we change over to these things. These are biodegradable. These we can use. We can decompose these things, put them back into the soil, and help the environment. So in the long run, what are we looking ahead of us? Is to now face that cost of changing now and avoid the greater costs later on of not changing. When I look at things, one of the greatest things, difficult things for man to do is change.
Yeah.
We get into a comfort zone. And we tend to find excuse for not changing than to look at the benefits of actually changing.
Yeah.
So when we look at the cost, it's not just the cost of doing something, but we need to look at the cost of not doing something, and at this point in time. And I think this is where we are at now. We're at a point where we can really grab on to change and make that change now. The band said we're going to start with the shopping bags, right? The shopping bags. But we want to sensitize folks, not just the shopping. And I'm glad to see a lot of the merchants have started bringing in those alternatives.
Okay.
And so that folks, you can just start doing this. You start bit by bit. A little bit of the styrofoam, a little bit of the alternatives, and gradually work into it. Right? So at this time, as we are saying, the time that we are giving is also for you also to, we say test the waters.
Yeah,
You
see what works best.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to take a bath and the water cool, you edge on the shower, you do the same thing, put in a hand first. So do the same thing. So like say, every time you make a shopping, a portion is styrofoam, portion is single-use plastic, a portion is the alternative.
Yep.
And you gradually increase as your pocket adjusts and start adjusting your pocket to it.
I have a question for both of you, and this goes to, I guess, making the eco-conscious push more effective. One of the problems we have here is that we don't have the I don't remember who I was talking to, but we don't have the economies of scale to let's say make, for example, having a small recycling plant here feasible. And then I was told that when they compact things like cars and like plastic bottles and so, it takes like years before we have enough to send off. Will it ever be cheap enough for us to even let's say recycle plastic? Because here we are, we're earnestly trying to do these things, but then because of the size of the economy, it takes forever to.
And I have a recommendation.
So what do we do?
How about putting a plastic recycle container at the airport? Tourists are always asking, where's the recycle bin? Where's the recycle bin? And when I see the amount of bottles that are taken away from persons that know that they shouldn't take water through the machines, it's plenty.
And it shouldn't be lost on us that the recycling push is part of their
sustainable.
It's part of their consciousness, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The fact that they're
asking. So we said,
right?
no, just a garbage bin, and they're like, oh, and they just dump it. But they don't want to. They want to recycle it, actually.
But you went full circle and come back again. Because even if I put a recycle bin at the airport, and if I put a recycle bin in every school, and I put recycle bin all over the place, and people 100% signs on to that,
understand.
the end result is, what do I do with that plastic?
Well, as Jam to say, maybe we might.
So you tell
maybe
me
we might have more plastic to. As Jam was saying, maybe we can accumulate more quickly.
It's still not enough.
But if I accumulate enough, here's what happened. What we ran into, because we started baling the plastic, and what you find, the type of plastics that is being used today, manufacturers produce in bulk, but the material is lighter.
Oh, cheaper.
It's right. They're stretching their material.
Ooh.
So it's lighter. If you notice a lot of the water bottles nowadays, you realize how light they have
And
become.
thin.
Flimsy.
Flimsy, yeah.
When you compact those,
Not a
you
lot.
need a whole lot to compact. But when you're shipping, you ship by weight. So therefore, what you find is that you may have a mountain.
Oh, we think we have a mountain, but then when it comes
But when it comes down,
gosh, it's nothing.
it's nothing.
Well, okay,
And
let's put the bin by the airport and see what
So
happens.
economically, for the shipper, it's not economically viable for him to ship it because the bale is too light.
Oh boy.
The
We
bale
can't
is
win,
too
huh?
light.
I know.
Right?
We're trying here.
Yes, we can win. which it comes back to change to the alternative.
Okay.
Correct.
So any way you look at it, right?
But you're telling me, let's say, even a glass recycling plant or small plastic recycling plant can't work for the OECS, at least on one of the islands?
Glass, yes, but notice something, that glass is not so much of an issue
as
as
plastic.
to when it comes to plastic.
Yeah.
Glass is not so much an issue.
Because I'm sure there's glass bottle at the bottom of the sea, but we just keep hearing the plastic complaints.
You know, they say that we really get the brunt of climate change, but you realize we're getting the brunt of the whole question of
because if you look at our small island here in the Caribbean, we're in the middle of the ocean.
We are.
And even from the larger countries, just like how we throw the plastic bottle in the drain, where does it actually end up?
In the sea.
You remember there was a small commercial showing a bottle going down a gut and down the drain, and where it end up? In the sea? The same thing. So the large, let me tell you something. We, compared to the larger countries, we contribute very little, to this issue.
Exactly.
We contribute very little. But we bear the greater part of the consequences.
Yeah.
Because when you dump these things in the sea, imagine it, we talk about sea level rise. Sea level rise, when you look at it, takes two things in consideration. And one of them persons don't really look at. The main thing sea level rise you look at is the melting ice. So more water is going into the sea, so the level rise. But what about if you keep dumping garbage in the sea, and there are some places that actually actively do that, that also, if you have a glass of water, and you throw anything in it, it raises the level of the water.
Yeah.
So that too is helping to raise the
garbage.
the sea. And the movement of the currents, and we are in the part of ocean currents, and it moves these around. It brings them to us as well. So we are bearing the brunt, and will continue to bear the brunt of
the nastiness.
It's so unfair.
So then, if the others are contributing, the least we can do is try to safeguard ourselves. Reduce the plastic use.
Okay, fair enough.
But what do we do with the plastic that we have there?
Well,
if
in the meantime, we're still looking how
Why are you laughing?
Because one of the things we
and
want,
the aluminum cans and all that,
So, in the meantime, what we are trying to do now is to get, as you say, still collect those plastics, still bale them, and we are looking for some way how we can get rid of them.
Okay.
But at the same time, while we are going through that, what we are saying, stop the bleed.
Yeah, stop using.
Right? While we're looking to heal the wound, stop the bleed. So therefore, reduce that usage.
Okay, we have 2 minutes to 10 o'clock, and clearly someone wants something, has someone to something to contribute. So I'll take at least one call. Caller, go right ahead for the Ministry of Environmental Officers.
Good morning, Kortensia. Good morning to your special guest in the studio.
Good morning.
Yes, I agree with that move to get rid of the plastic. But then it would create another problem. Someone talked about the glass earlier. But there's an alternative when we do accumulate the glass. For instance, right now, at the bottling company, they used to crush the glass and dispose them probably in the water down by one of those beaches down by camps. That has become a beach of
sea glass?
A beach on St. Kitts now, because our guest is requesting to go to the glass beach. So there is an alternative when the transition comes and we accumulate glass, and we would wonder what to get rid of the glass, because 60 years ago we didn't have the plastic problem, but now there's a plastic problem. Who knows, another 60 years ago there might be another problem. It might be glass. But there's an alternative to really beautify our beaches with the glass, because the sea has a tendency to smooth up stone.
Yeah, wash
and
them and make them
round
look
up
good.
Stone and
Yeah.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? So there wasn't really that
problem.
exposed with the glass and that
sharpness
edge to cut anyone.
Yeah.
Okay, caller.
I just want to put that out there for now.
Okay. All right. So
I know people who use the glass to make jewelry as well. See, washed up glass.
And with respect to what the caller is saying, even a lot of your glass containers and glass material today is made from recycled glass, actually.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, where they would go back and they
But
would...
isn't
melt
all
down
glass
the
recyclable? Isn't all glass recyclable?
Yes,
Mhm.
it's just that you just have to get the technique right for the type of glass that you have.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, I know there's a complicating factor with the plastics because I know there are different grades of plastic. Some of them are not recyclable, and some are easier to recycle than others, and stuff like that.
And even so, the chemical composition of some of this recycling process for them may release certain chemicals and things like that. So, but with the glass, we moved away from glass. Because remember, all our sodas used to come in glass.
Yes.
They moved away to the wonderful, cheap plastic.
Not.
And I'm going to hit on something else, There's a lot of material that we have locally that we could go back and use as alternative. If I can make a bowl, a plate, out of bamboo and bagasse, bagasse is what we call the husks from the sugarcane.
Yeah.
Hey, we got bamboo in St. Kitts, yeah? We can use some of that. But there's also, what about the calabash, man? The calabash that we used to have, we used to say, oh, that's a Rasta man dish. But the Rasta man had a good idea. So right now, how about a beautiful spoon, well-carved bowl, lovely mug made from calabash? How about going back and exploring that? Because right now, I'm actively, anybody have any calabash seed? I'm asking for them.
I think a farmer should start planting an orchard or two, for real.
We in forestry, we want to repopulate the marginal areas also with those calabash, because we're looking further ahead, and a calabash is a very good. And even the gourd, once ago people used to plant the gourd in the air. When it gets hard, it's something like the calabash as well.
Oh, I thought they were the same thing.
No.
Okay.
Actually, they're different family. But the gourd will come from the pumpkin family. So you find you want persons to go back and explore those things. For your bags, go back to cotton. And we'll look at how we can make these things. I can call a name now, but anyway. Even the hemp. Marijuana and hemp is not the same. Let me put that straight out. Marijuana and hemp, they're in the same family, but they're not the same. But these were used before. The Declaration of Independence for America was written on what? Hemp paper. And they boil down the hemp, the petroleum company and those who make paper, make for the plastic product, they engineered the thing so that hemp could be kicked out so that their products could come in. So we need to reverse that cycle.
Okay. We certainly will.
We need to. So, alternative.
Okay, guys, we're actually out of time, so we'll give you guys a minute to wrap up. I mean, you have your Environmental Day / Environmental Month coming up, so I'll give you 1 minute to take it home.
Basically, as I said at the start of all of this, the plastic ban is now here. It's nothing to fear. And we want everybody to understand that it's an easier, healthier, and more simple process than you might assume. Our new updated bill is also on its way to protect not only our environment, but your environment, because we are all stewards of the environment, right? And we hope that during our activities for Environmental Month, you are around and you would come out and show us some support. Dr. Brown has an open day where he have actually some practical stuff going on over at Wingfield. And so we hope that everybody can come, observe. If you have any questions about anything we discussed this morning, you could reach us at 466-8535. The department is always open and willing to questions. And we would just like to thank you all for having us here this morning.
Pleasure. Great. Okay, and keep doing the great work you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, Kortensia, I hope you have a great day. You're going off to work, right?
Yep, I am.
All right.
I'm hoping to see the bin at the airport soon.
Yes, for real. You guys definitely have to do that. I think that was a really good idea.
They're gonna the visiting public, they're gonna love it because they are gonna actually throw the stuff where they're supposed to be thrown. Yeah. Alrighty. Jam, so have a great day to our listeners and viewers. Thank you. See you tomorrow, same place, same time.
Okay.